Hello everyone, welcome back to Marian's World. I'm on to my second page in my fabric flower book. It actually hasn't taken very long to do and I hope you like it. It's probably not a flower that you thought I would be putting into my book, but all wildflowers are flowers to me and I just wanted to do it. So enjoy, cutting you straight into it. Ready to do the second page in my flower book, and because I am still on to the bonded fabric page, I'm going to be doing it in a similar style to this one. So I'm working on this one next. I think I'll take it out of the book, and so I'll just put my book down over there and I'll be working on this piece here. What I've done is I've got some of my scraps of painted bonded fabric out, and I've actually found some that I don't even need to colour anymore. They've actually already got the right thing on for me. And this might be a bit of an unusual one that you think I'm choosing, but I actually would like to do a nettle. And nettles are really useful, really interesting. I find them really lovely wild plants. There's virtually nowhere you can go that doesn't have nettles, and whether you want to cook with them, craft with them, dye with them, there's always something. So I actually thought I would do a nettle. So the first thing is I've got this bit of brown here, and I'm just going to loosely sort of do a design that's similar to what's in my book. So I've got this bit of brown, and I'm just going to cut that into some ground. So I think I'm going to cut it to be that sort of a size, and I quite like that mottled effect that's on there already. So I'm just going to cut it into a loose sort of a humpy bit of a garden ground or whatever, like that. And obviously that can be used somewhere. That's got quite a nice feathered edge on it actually, but I don't need that today. So I'm going to iron this on, and that will be the start. Iron that down nicely. And then I've got a little piece here somewhere that's got quite a dark green there. I thought that's just enough to make some stems, so I'm just going to cut this into 3 if I can, because I'm just going to do 3 stems of nettles. I'm not going to do the whole thing that's on there. I like it when I can use up every little scrap. Sometimes the scraps wait for ages, but eventually you do find that there's a reason to use them. So this little scrap's going to be used. So I think we'll go with one in the background first. I think I'm going to go from there up to about here. I think I'll just taper it off a bit to make a narrower top. I'm going to put that in the middle and iron it on. And so I do want this to look like there's a background and a foreground, so I'm not actually going to iron the next stems on yet. I'm going to get some leaves on first. And so for the leaves I'm going to use this bit of green. The paper's off it already, but it's still got the bunding on the back. And I'm just going to draw some leaves on in the same way I did before. So I think maybe if I use the pencil to get the, in fact I'm going to do pretend one here to make sure I'm doing it in the right scale for what I want. So if I just get a leaf about, I think about that size is what I'm aiming for. I'm going to cut that one out. This hasn't got bonding on yet, so I don't feel I'm wasting it. I'll just cut that out roughly to test whether I'm doing everything in the scale that I'd like it to be. So I think that looks like it'll be about right. So I get a few on at that size and a few on smaller going up or thinner. So I feel that that's the right size. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw some leaves, and they don't have to be in any particular way. I just need to, in fact what I might do, I'll just put a point and a point. Gives me the scale. And then I'm just going to try and draw a jagged leaf shape. It's got a lovely picture of the leaf there, which shows you the lovely jagged shape and how the veins all go down from the top. So I'm going to be embroidering that bit. So let's just try my best to get a leaf. I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm not going to draw veins because that's what I'm going to do with embroidery. So let's get another few on. That's a nice sideways one. And try and use my fabric as economically as possible. Like that. Get another, let's do quite a nice pointy one. It's not really a hard drawing thing, we're just sort of, I'm just really drawing a bit of an arc and then a nice zigzag shape down to the point. Context then is everything, because even if it doesn't look very leafy at the moment, they're going to look leafy when they're on the page with the embroidery around them. I think I'll leave it at that and just actually start and do something with them. I've got sort of like a dull gold in my needle. There's the colour. And I've just got one strand. I'm going to start at the top, and I can see that the veins all go straight down towards each point. So there is one that goes immediately down. So I'm actually going to do a running stitch down towards the middle. I'm not going to take it past the black line because that's where I'm going to cut on. And if you remember, I did actually cut my thread when I did the primroses. And then I'm going to work my way back up the line with running stitch, because it's actually quicker than doing back stitch. So there's my first line, first vein. The next one is going to come straight out of the top again, and it's going to go in a little curve down to the next little jag of the serrated edge. So I'm going to just take it down in a running stitch, and I'm going to end it. I'm not going to go to that one because this is loose, it's not a botanical, illustration. I just have to make sure that it's the essence of what I want the nettle to be. And back up through the same holes, running stitch back up the vein. This also lets me use the thread in the most economical way because I'm ending up at the top ready to stitch again. I'm going to come out just near and I'm going to take it to that one. So I'm going to end up at the little inside of the zigzag. and back up again. And I'm just going to miss that last bit out. I don't need to put one in there. So I start on this side. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Turn it round a bit and do a running stitch, aiming for this zigzag here. And back up again. And I think one more will probably be okay for this. I'm going to aim it at, I'm going to just miss one out and go to this one as my last vein going down. I think I just need 2 stitches down that one. Back up to the top, and then I can finish off. That actually didn't take very long at all. I get too excited about what's going on, so I'm actually going to cut this one out straight away. I'm going to cut rounded first, just roughly. That's always my bother. I always just get too excited and I want to go to the next step straight away. I'm just going to cut this out with my little embroidery scissors. And you see I'm still turning the fabric, not turning the scissors. I don't mind if I cut some of the black off. It just adds to the whole feel of it, I think. And back up. Okay, one leaf cut out. And so now if I sort of think about arranging my page, this can be in the bottom, covering the bottom of the stem. Oh, I like that already. No such thing as a boring nettle. Okay, I'm going to get the rest of them embroidered. As I say, I'm just on one thread. Don't think it's going to take a huge length of time, but I shall just get on with it. The easiest one is the one straight down to the bottom. These little pieces are so easy just to keep straight in your hand. You don't want to be pulling anything too tight, but it's not hard. I've cut all of my embroidered leaves out now, so I'm just going to start to create an arrangement in the spirit of that illustration and just see how I can pull things together. I might need more leaves or not. In fact, I think I might just put these on anyway and then see what happens. They're definitely a bit too long. I'll just get the stalks in and then I'll put the up and down bits, whether they're up or down. I mean, you know, foreground or background. That's what I really meant, up and down. Sometimes my brain just decides it doesn't want to say the right thing. Slim that down a little bit more. Put it on. So I'm just going to have 3 stalks. I actually do want to get some writing on here as well, so I'm bearing that in mind as well. So I'm going to start and layer up the leaves and just see what happens, whether it's going to work. Have some curling down leaves like that. And like that. Really, they should be pairing up. Might be looking a bit sparse. Maybe I need some more. Or maybe not. Oh, I think I definitely need some more. Okay, but I'm on the right track, definitely. I think I need some more small ones. The other thing is, what makes the nettle going to look like a nettle are all the little pieces of flowers coming out. Now I definitely can't be embroidering them on the page because it'll go through to the primroses on the back. So I feel that I'll probably paint them in once the leaves are down. But at the moment I'm happy with how that composition's coming. But I definitely need more leaves. So I'm going to, I've got plenty of this green for the size of leaves I'm doing. So I'm going to draw some more and cut some more out. I've drawn some more and embroidered them already. But before I cut them out, I just wanted to show you how you can use every little scrap. Even the little pieces in between where I've cut the other leaves out, I've managed to fit another leaf in. And so really, once I'm finished, there really are just tiny little scraps left. I think this lovely gold that I've used on here is going to work so well because it's just giving that little bit of shine and highlight to the veins of the nettle leaves. So I'm going to cut these out now. Ready to finish building the design on here. So I've cut out quite a few more leaves and I've got them all embroidered. And I think if I just try and build the design and get an idea of where they all need to be for myself, then I will be able to iron them down and finish them off. I do have one or two leaves that were really tiny and I felt I couldn't stitch, but they're just the ones right at the very top. Take my pin cushion off. And I need the flowers to go on as well. I think it's looking quite nettly, which is great. You can go on top of the stems as well. And yeah, they don't even have to be associated with a stem because there'd be more nettles in the background, really, wouldn't there? I'm quite happy to just keep putting them on. Okay, I think that's pretty decent. I think I might just move the stems further down. I think I'm not going to take them all off. I'm just going to pull these stems downwards. I think I'm going to lower the whole design because I actually want to get a little quote on there. I'm just going to use a bit more further down and get it back again. Just cover up the bottom of those stems in a nice way. Oh, I really like this. I do think nettles are always Well, people hate them, but actually they're really good. They're good for all sorts. I've put them in scones before. Cheese scones with added chopped up nettle. It's quite good. Soup. Sounds weird. It tastes lovely. String. I might have to do a video on nettle string because that's good. Right, I think I'm nearly there with the design. I think I just need to put those back at the top. Leave room for the flowers. And I think I'm just going to go for it with the iron. I think that's it. I wish there was a way of me finding out whether you were giving a thumbs up or not before I actually ironed it. I think I'm happy with that. Looks like a clear design. I'm just going to go for it with the iron. I'll just press it and let the iron do its work. Oh yes, just give it a press like that. And now I'm just going to put some flowers in on it with a bit of a pale green, I think, because they're usually sort of a yellowy acidy green. Oh, why haven't it worked? Have I not got the iron on hot enough? Oh, I haven't. I've got the iron on quite low. Try again with the iron on more hot. I forgot to turn it up. I had it turned down because I was pressing Naomi's little top. I forgot to turn it back up to a high heat. Now I just need to get my little brush and get my intense. I think I'm going to go with a bit of a, just going to fold the page a bit so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go for a bit of a yellowy green and see what happens. I'll just mix it up in there. Yellowy green. And I'm going to just dot it, I think if I dot it about, if I had a page that was open to being able to be stitched on, I would have French knotted it. But I can't, and I'm not using much water because I do not want this to go through onto that page. So I'm just going to very carefully just dot the nettle flowers with this yellowy green. I'm quite enjoying doing this sort of combination embroidery and art type of a page. Obviously it's quicker than pure embroidery, but that's not really the point. It's the point that you're getting the best of both worlds. You're painting and embroidering, and not everybody has hours and hours to give time to things, and this way you can get something really pretty that's not going to take an absolute, years or months or whatever, which I think makes it more accessible. Sorry, my voice is going to tail off now because I'm concentrating on not putting too much water in, but also just getting these little dots to get a look of nettle flowers. And so any of you out there thinking, that's not a flower, we want a rose or a pansy, or I like all wildflowers. And the humble nettle is always overlooked. And so this is what I'm doing. I just knew that was the next page that I wanted to do. And the page after this is going to be quite a lot of embroidery because I already know what I'm doing. And it's a one that's been unbonded so far. And so I can do a bit more traditional embroidery, which is what I'm looking forward to doing. I'm going to put a bit of a pale bit on there, just so it shows up over the ground. I think I'm nearly done now. Just want the flowers coming out of all the leaf intersections. Not much water. Some bits of paint are a bit darker, some are lighter. That just helps to give depth. I keep bringing it right up to my face. It's because I do need a magnifier now to be embroidering. So I keep bringing things further up to my face. Anyway, I think you're getting the idea of getting the flowers on. Remember, these will dry later, so even though they might look a bit dark now, they're going to dry a lot lighter. So I'm going to iron them on straight away. I think I need another couple of leaves here. I've changed my mind on the quote. This one's from the 1700s and I can't get all of the quote on. Quote actually is tender-handed, stroke the nettle, and it stings you for your pains. The second bit is grasp it like a lad of metal, and it's something about silk. And I've forgotten it. Oh my goodness. I might put it in the description. Anyway, I've planned it out. Like I said, you could plan it out when I did the primrose because I wasn't sure I'd get it all on. So I've just written it out in my normal sort of writing, but cut the pieces into pieces so I can just see where I can get it. And that's what I think it'll be. So I'm going to attempt to do that just freehand now. And so I'm going to turn round. So I need tender-handed stroke on there. I'm going to start right down here. And hopefully not make a mess. I'll leave that there so I can see how big I need everything to be. I'm running out of room. Oh no. Okay. Tender-handed stroke. Oh, it's quite a bit to get on the top bit. But I shall try. So I'll leave that up there so I can see the space I've got. Just gonna make it. Oh, I have to start that a little way down. But I can do it, I can do it. I'm confident I'm going to get it on here. Just be confident. Done. I've done 2 more leaves. They're getting ironed down. And I'm finished. And I did find the quote. So I'm going to read it out to you. While you just see my finished page. So the quote is, "Tender-handed stroke a nettle, and it stings you for your pains. Grasp it like a man of metal, and its soft as silk remains." Now the reason I like that, or I should say, that's 1750 by someone called Aaron Hill. The reason I quite like that quote is because when I was a little girl, I used to watch my granddad working in his vegetable garden, and my grandma did the rose garden at the front and granddad kept the vegetable garden at the back, and he was always just pulling the nettles up with his bare hands, and he used to say, "Grandad, how can you be doing that?" And he'd go, "Oh, you do it for years and they don't bother you anymore." And of course I never believed him, because you know that they sting and they really hurt. But I can definitely, confidently say that after years of working as a gardener and of being outside working in the environment, nettles do not bother me anymore, and I can happily just pull them up with my hands, strip the leaves off to make whatever, pull nettle tops. And it's not that they don't necessarily sting you. I think they still do. It just doesn't bother me anymore. I don't get a rash. I don't get stung. They don't hurt. And so that definitely is a good quote for me. I'm going to put it in my book. Well, that's page 2 finished. And I'm really, really pleased with that nettle page and the quote that goes around it. I'm also really, really pleased to be reading all the comments you've been sending since I did the video with Naomi's clothes and the brownies, etc. I'm really pleased that you've enjoyed that, because it was a little bit different from what you used to from me. So definitely keep commenting on that video and letting me know which image you would like if you end up being the winning subscriber in a couple of weeks' time, because I really look forward to painting either one of those images onto a tote bag. In the meantime, definitely click the like button, subscribe to my channel if you would like to carry on seeing how I'm doing with all these projects, and I'll see you next time. Bye from Marion's World. See you later.